I destroyed a $600 printer making photo zines at home so you don't have to. And in this video, I share my DIY photo zine making process. My name is Sean. I'm a photojournalist and I've been publishing zines for more than 20 years. I've been making them with this particular setup for about 2. I've divided my process into 7 sections. Let's dive in. My first step involves finding a theme, subject, or story. For my latest zine, I'm using photos from the Buddhist monks' Walk for Peace as they traveled through Columbia, South Carolina and Charlotte, North Carolina. I've already done rounds of culling for social media and website publishing, so here I'm starting with 54 photos. I narrowed the thousands of photos I made over the 2 days using the Photo Mechanic app. This is pretty standard in the world of photojournalism. I used another app called Turbo Collage to design a large page with a bunch of smaller photos. I print this out and then cut up the photos into smaller prints. I use these for the final culling and sequencing for the 18 available pages in my zine. To keep design simple, and because the zine is relatively small, I keep photos to 1 per page. The culling and sequencing process is one of the most important parts when working on a photo book or a photo zine. And having the ability to physically sort these images is invaluable. As I'm working on this, I'm thinking about how the story should unfold as I turn the pages and about how facing photos work as spreads. I try to keep any action or visual cues moving towards the opposing page. Once I've made my decisions on the final photos and their order, I drop them into a template I made in Photoshop. You don't have to use Photoshop or any of these other apps I've mentioned. They just happen to be the ones that I'm familiar with. Once I have all the photos dropped into the Photoshop template, I print these pages out on regular paper on draft mode. It saves ink and a little bit of money. After this, I assemble a proof copy of the zine, and we'll get into this process shortly. My biggest challenge was finding and using a printer that could handle thick enough paper for double-sided printing. Enter the Epson EcoTank 8550. This particular model prints on paper up to 13 by 19 inches, and ink is exponentially cheaper than my previous Epson printer, the XP 15000. I ruined one of the 8550 printers during the first month that I had it, experimenting with different paper weights while calling Epson support. They couldn't really answer most of my questions about paper weights, and in the end, they just sent me out a new printer. In the process, I found that the Epson EcoTank 8550 supports double-sided printing on Koala brand 32-pound weight matte paper. Any weight above that, fed through the printer twice, will likely eventually jam and foul up the printer. If everything works out in the test print, I print out each page in batches of 10, and normally I make about 20 copies of each zine. I use a Fiskars Procision rotary bypass paper trimmer. It's not cheap, but it's a time and resource saver, and in the long run, I think it's going to be a good investment. After cutting the pages, I organize them for binding. And in this case, the binding is just 2 staples. Here, I use a special stapler. I've linked 2 different options for stapling zines in the description. After making my zines, I send them out to subscribers and give one to the local library zine collection. This is not something that I recommend doing for profit, but if you're interested in self-publishing and photography and challenging yourself with physical media, this is it.